It is lovely.
It's funny because I was going back over that anecdote.
The Pear Tart one.
Yeah. I went and read. I think it's in this book, Alex Ross. The Rest Is Noise.
Oh right. Yeah.
It's in there, and I can't remember. I should remember because I just read it. But it was one of Messiaen's students, I think. And he'd been pushed to think of something scandalous to say about Messiaen and Yvonne Loriot. And the only thing he could think of was that they'd eaten his bed. Yeah, that was it.
And do we know where when they ate this Pear Tart all in one go?
He'd obviously just seen them one day when he'd been round at their house.
Oh, so they didn't offer him any Pear Tart?
I presume not, because the words were they devoured it all in one go. So,
they must have been hungry, Andy.
Exactly.
I just can't imagine him watching them eating a full Pear Tart.
Yeah.
It's like he was on the outside looking in the window or something. He wasn't offered any.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who it was now. Why was it Le Merle Noir that you picked?
Oh, this is a funny one. Why I picked Le Merle Noir. I never learned it in college. And I don't quite exactly remember how I chose it, but I remembered I had started one of my first teaching jobs, and I came across the score in the library.
Oh, yeah.
And I took the score home, and I started fiddling with it and thinking, just trying it out in practice, because I just wanted to play something new and play something different, and you know, nobody had sort of particularly recommended it, and I was experimenting with it, and I opened the score and I just thought, how am I going to play this piece? How do you even start it? How do you approach it? How do you play it in time? And how could you possibly play this with a piano player together?
What's it look like in the score?
Oh, it's all these rhythms that to me made no sense. I remember thinking that the first time, thinking, how would I count this? But that's our problem as classical musicians. We want to get everything right, and we want to be precise, and we want to do it exactly right, exactly together, exactly in time. And this was a serious issue for me. But I thought, this is a challenge, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to learn this. But I had nothing to prepare it for. There was, you know, I wasn't programmed for anything like that. So I thought, you know, this is going to be something new for me to learn, and it's a good challenge, and it'll be good for me to practice it. And I was at that stage where I was just out of college, just started doing a little bit of work and doing a lot of deck work and all this sort of thing. And I used to, in those days, practice in the morning time, early. I'm not as good at playing in the morning anymore, but I used to practice in the morning, and I'd be getting up. I used to practice in our kitchen at home, which was a big space. And I liked the kitchen because it had a good sound. Flute sounded good in the kitchen.
That, like the resonance of the
It's very important, it's very important for me. I think flute players, and it had this lovely sound, so you never felt bad. Which was probably the wrong thing to do, because then you don't develop your sound. But I love to practice in the kitchen, but the unfortunate thing about that was two of my brothers used to sleep in the bedroom directly above the kitchen. So, you know, I'd start with my tone exercises. Da, da. Have you ever heard those ones? Da, da. These are flute players' life. Da, da. And it goes on like that. And it takes quite a while to get from B down to low C, and then you might do it the register above. So this was my start in the morning. And I just heard my brother saying, God, could you think of anything more dreary to play first thing in the day? And they're still in bed. I never had pity on them, but when I think about it, I'd be going mad if I heard that going downstairs now. So I really was quite an evil sister. And that would be my start. And my father would be kind of getting up around the same time as me. And, you know, he probably, by the time he'd be going out or something, I know he heard me trying out bits of Le Merle Noir. He heard me trying it out, and he'd actually been out to milk cows. So my dad is a farmer, and he'd be going up, and the house is a good, it's a laneway walk up to the farmyard. So Dada would go out, he'd put on his jacket, and he'd go on up the yard, and he'd be going up. It's a sort of laneway, lots of big trees and everything. And I remembered him saying to me one day, because I'd been doing this for a little while, and he said, I hear the birds singing what you're playing. And my father isn't a musician, he's never had musical training. He doesn't have experience, only from putting up with me and playing in the kitchen when he's trying to have his supper and trying to get up in the morning and everything. So I don't know how I got away with that for so long, playing in the kitchen. But whatever it was, that Le Merle Noir, he obviously heard the snippets that I was badly trying out, and somehow managed to hear that the birds were imitating that as he went up the yard.
Well, so it'd be like something like this, like... Kind of like,
in the background there.
Maybe that's...
Yeah. That's like the dictated bird song that Messiaen would have probably taken down. They're probably French blackbirds.
So they speak different.
I'd say they have a different accent. And then I make the blackbird sound like an Irish blackbird.
How would it be different? It's funny because it's like...
I think as a flute player, which would be a lot more... They always claim that people from different countries as a flute player, because a lot of your flute sound is kind of interior, and it's to do with shape and to do with resonance, and also articulation and pronunciation, and the way the French talk and pronounce and articulate is quite different to the way we do, and it would probably impact our articulation. But I suspect there's probably a shape in people's mouths as well, and that of course affects the quality of the sound. So there is a different resonance, probably. I just think that our way of talking and pronouncing probably has some effect on our sound quality and just how we sound and the quality of sound. I mean, there's definitely a difference between the sound a French flute player makes and an English flute player makes and an American flute player makes, even though it's kind of more of a one style of flute playing. There is a different quality in the sound,
Definitely.
I mean, does an Irish blackbird sound like a French blackbird? Do you ever think about Messiaen's use of colour? It's an alien thought then. I mean, I think, because I have a friend of mine who is a musician who has it, but apparently it's very, very different experience for everybody.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And it would affect them very, very differently. I can't even remember now exactly how it affects her, but it's very different to how it would have affected Messiaen.
Oh, yeah.
But I just think it's fascinating to imagine what colours. I always think there's a colour chord bit in this, and I always find it'd be really fascinating to know what colours he saw for those colour chords. Here, listen to it. Now, these are the bits I often wonder about the colours. No, I think that there should be different instruments playing it, because I feel as a flute you can't get enough of the colours. But I think there's a lot of different colour possibilities in that. But I don't have synesthesia, I don't know, and I didn't experience whatever he experienced. But I think he literally, when a particular chord was played, he saw a particular colour, and he was fascinated by stained glass windows, which are
It's actually quite a beautiful ending because it came to the end and then you're like, that's quite nice. Oh, we should end it there.